All right, hello everyone. This is DayTraderRockStar, and a little market update and a preview of the 10 for 1,000 watch list that I put out every Sunday. So again, we're going to start off with the S&P 500 here. Left off last week explaining the rise and wedge pattern here and the breakdown and how to come to a measured move in the target. And we'll review that one fast again, but I also want to bring to point the stochastics getting quickly back down into an oversold level, which is interesting. You have a lower trend line that comes down here as a potential. Everything all lining up in that 1065, 1060 to 1066 area. So that everything lining up for a perfect storm down to that level, and so far the indicators are pointing that way. Now we're going to break this down a little bit further. Again, this was an original channel breakout, formed this rising wedge. Now we got the pullback to the lower trend line. We can really see this on the 60-minute chart, and going out on the 60-minute chart for a second here. Let's just go right out here. This is going out to July, or actually June 25th to June 29th, and that nice rise and wedge pattern. Rise and wedge, basically an upward trend line and an upward trend line converging. I would look for a breakdown of a wedge or a breakout of a wedge, usually into about 65 to 75% into the pattern. So that gives you a good area of where you want to start looking for a breakdown or a breakout. Now again, a falling wedge pattern, you tend to get a break to the upside, and a rising wedge pattern is a bearish signal, and you look for a breakdown here. Now basically a measured move is a projected target from a pattern. So a lot of different patterns: inverted head and shoulders, wedge patterns, channels. These type of patterns can be converted and shown a measured move target when you break those channels. So basically a wedge pattern, you take the widest part of the wedge, and I'm just going to do that by squaring off this section up here, and then you go to the point where you get the breakdown, and you just extend that out here, depending on where that trend line break comes in here. And that's usually the distance where you look for a measured move out of the trend. And I put a line in there, and it brings us right down to that 1065 to 1066 level, which shows up very nicely on the daily chart, because that daily chart, actually, take a look at some of these numbers here. Daily chart, the downward trend line comes right back down to that 1060 to 1065 area. You have the closing the flash crash lows at that 1060 to 1065 area. So you have a close, and that's exactly where we had to, actually that was the low of the flash crash. The closing price is actually up 1131, where we just ran into over the last 6 consolidation before we broke down here. So again, that flash crash day really comes into play. The closing price came into play on the highs here, and the spike down low is going to be come into play on the reversal, or actually the retest here. So that ends up being a very interesting level again. That actually intersects with the downward trend line, also intersects with the move, the measured move of the pattern here. So very nice pattern. Again, it's a beautiful one, and you actually see the 60-minute chart, stochastics actually pulling over here. So everything pointing to a downside move here, a continued downside move. So you have to be super careful going into this market on the long side, and also understand that there's some big support down here at the 1066 level. I'm going to call it 1060 to 1066. Inside day pattern on Friday, meaning that it's a consolidation day. Another pattern breakout would be a breakout of the inside day to the upside or to the downside. Usually is a continuation. You take that trade, whatever trade it usually goes against, either through the high or through the low. You would take that trade. But again, I want to continue to come back to the stochastic, saying they are getting oversold quickly. And let's start off with just a couple of stocks off the watch list, as some stocks I'll be going over this week on the show. Remember, I broadcast every day live from 8:30 to 4 o'clock, and show you all the good setups in the market as they're happening. A couple of them that are on this week's watch list: Sigma Ulrich, let me zoom out here, SIAL. Again, this is based on multiple indicators. We have the stochastics getting oversold. We have recent support line here, and we have a trend. We have a 200 period moving average underneath us, all convergence. So 3 out of the 5 indicators here really setting up. There's also, yeah, I mean, the support line that goes out all the way to March is really interesting. How it connects right here to the 200. So, you know, $54 buy trigger would break us out of this. Well, actually, it would be a little more aggressive trigger on this. Let me see if I have. I say I have aggressive here, meaning that, you know, stochastics haven't given us that crossover. What I want to do is bring these setups to you at the best probable areas. All right, so this is a very good area down here, right around this level. If we get that confirmation crossover and the momentum building back up, this will really confirm this trend, and game will be on here on SIAL. So that's a good setup to watch here. Another interesting one here is Dell. Dell is a double bottom. It's a trade idea going into this week. Nice double bottom, 1180. I know tech has been smashed lately, but technically oversold stochastic, lower trend line retest, double bottom formation, and support and resistance from a double bottom. So 4 out of 5 really good indicators here. Really setting up for a bounce area here. And again, understand the markets are looking weak here, so you have to be very cautious, but definitely like these levels, would watch these levels, and that's why these levels are being brought to you. And I'm going to talk about one best bet of the week, COV here, Covidian. This is a position that's, again, a beautiful downward trend line breaking out to the upside. Stochastics and volume were pretty good on Friday. Volume was increased. The stochastics are really holding their own and starting to curve back up. We got that trend line break, close above the 20-period moving, well, right at the 20-period moving average. Like the little volume spike on a low volume day. Could see this follow through being a a different sector here, not a tech sector stock here. So let's pay attention to it. And I'm in this one as of Friday, so looking to add to it on a breakout of 3880. And it looks good here, COV. And again, one last stock to leave you with. Well, actually, that's good right now because I got 10 other good ones on the for the show. So, well, all right, that's it. Tune in. Be on the air tomorrow, 8:30. Live market action. Live setups, show you all what's happening live in the market right now. Futures are up. Actually, futures are on, but futures are down right now, and we're looking at futures down about 375. S&P futures down 375. So, everyone has a good evening, and we will talk to you in the AM. This is DayTraderRockStar for DayTradingRadio.com.